you have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors.
This is a fundamental transformation of the entire Western world, of all of Europe, Canada,
overnight,
and the United States.
ESG isn't everything now. Businesses, corporations, no longer focus on profitability. They focus on the E, environmental, the S for social, the G for governance. It's not about making profits anymore. It's about controlling you. Stakeholder capitalism. The World Economic Forum's Klaus Schwab has been hammering that for decades. The notion that a firm focuses on meeting the needs of all stakeholders, like customers, employees, partners, and society as a whole. It's where corporations don't focus on profits, they focus on political agendas instead. Talk of stakeholder capitalism is everywhere. It was the theme of the Davos 2020 Manifesto. The World Economic Forum uses many terms in their plan to reset the world, and stakeholder capitalism is the basis of the ESG business concept. The World Economic Forum wants to change the entire world, so they're using businesses in order to start that process. Businesses no longer solely focus on serving the shareholder, but become the gatekeepers of society.
Will this movement succeed in turning corporations into agents of morality and social change?
If you can control the financial markets, if you can control the access to capital, you can dictate to any industry in the United States the way things are going to be run. They have a terrifying level of control over individual people and what they can do.
And the United States government is on board with the entire reset program. They have fully implemented ESG as a primary stepping stone. So what exactly does the E mean if you own a business?
Environment, greenhouse gas emissions, things like how severe weather impacts businesses.
But just not your business. It also includes every business you do business with.
It has tentacles everywhere. And the insidious part of it is it just doesn't affect the company. It affects everyone in the chain of that company. So every company that drives a truck for that company, they're delivering the goods. Everybody that makes a widget for that company, makes paper for that company, whatever it is, every single company must be part of the ESG program, or they cannot do business with them. Now, let's just imagine McDonald's, and this is coming
As law, mandatory.
Mandatory.
Yeah.
Every corporation, every company, every mom and pop farmer that grows potatoes or meat will have to adhere to the EU standards. Otherwise, you'll lose McDonald's. But it's not just that you have to grow them the way they want grown and adopt their, environmental and social justice standards, but even the potato farmer, anyone who supplies him also has to abide by ESG standards. The tentacles of this thing will change America just because we do business with the EU.
Yes.
Now let's talk about what the S means if you're a business or corporation.
The social side, the relationships that companies have with their employees, union rights, diversity, even abortion access.
At its core, ESG Social is about human rights and equity. ESG social performance indicators can include things like diversity, income equality, workplace injury rates, and labor practices of their suppliers. Again, businesses no longer focus on productivity and profits as a primary goal. Now let's talk about the G and what it means to you.
The G stands for governance, the structure of the board, for example, board diversity, even executive pay.
Factors like decision-making and policy-making. A corporation's purpose. Is it sustainable enough? Green enough? and the makeup of your board of directors. In ESG, you're required to make sure that the board of directors include things like gender diversity. So running your business now includes making sure the right boxes are checked. With governance, you no longer focus on hiring the best of the best for your board. Make no mistake, ESG is part of the Great Reset, changing society and phasing out property rights. This is all part of their plan. By making home ownership more difficult, from increasing the cost to heat and cool your home, increasing the cost to insure your home, cracking down on the type of appliances you can have, also increasing the cost to build homes, and competing with corporate America to even acquire a home.
And you might be very surprised who some of these corporations are.
Let's start at the top. Global organizations set the agenda. Then, they coordinate the work of governments and corporations to achieve the goals. All of the ESG initiatives are in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
This new form of regulatory activism ignores reality, forcing American companies to defend themselves against regulations and rules that are immaterial to their business model. The rush to implement ESG policies in housing and insurance will come at a price, leaving taxpayers and our constituents with fewer choices and higher costs.
There is a concerted effort to turn Americans into renters in this country and destroy the American dream. And the fact that there's not enough supply and too much demand and home prices are rising, all of these things makes it difficult for people to buy homes. This is what the World Economic Forum wants for us. Our government is also participating. By participating in these ESG policies, which are on our government website, they can allow corporations to put in policies to change our behavior.
And changing society in the process. While the World Economic Forum and the U.S. government will paint this change as a positive, make no mistake, you will lose freedom, even your freedom to travel, and your cost of living will be substantially more. As a person heading into retirement, I find this very troubling.
This Great Reset is as serious and as dangerous a threat to our prosperity, to your prosperity and your freedom, as we have faced in decades, with these powerful bodies, including the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, and even Prince Charles boasting that within a few short years, yes, their words, you will own nothing and you will be happy.
As always, please share your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading them. And make sure to subscribe.